everybody, happy Monday. We are back with another cooking live. I told you guys that we're gonna make this a regular occurrence. So right now I'm doing an egg scramble, which I've shown a few times in my shorts. And since I'm doing it, I just decided to throw up my camera and go live. So I'm just gonna move around the kitchen doing what I do. And I appreciate you guys for watching. So I already started on the sausages. This is the sausage that I use, chicken and maple, okay? Now, the trick to cooking these sausages to perfection is put a little bit of water in the pan first. So you kind of steam the sausages a little bit, get them to thaw because you keep them in the, well, we keep them in the freezer. Get them to thaw, steam them a little bit, and then I add a little bit of oil to the pan and I fry them in that oil. Okay, so our sausages are pretty much done. I stopped the cooking process so that I could set up my camera and, finish doing things on live. So just follow me here. Sausages. Now I'm going to grab my potatoes for my scramble. Go ahead and peel these potatoes. So basically what we're going to do with the potatoes is make home fries. And I'm just going to toss them in the pan with the sausages. I'm going to take off any of these brown spots. Keep peeling until I get rid of it. Perfectly peeled potato. Now this scramble is for my son. I'm not making breakfast for everyone, just him, pretty much. So I'm just going to do 2 potatoes, and then I already have 3 eggs here. Egg scramble is what I call it. It is a hit in my house. I make it very often. I'm going to go ahead and toss out these potato peels and I will be right back. Okay, hey everybody, thank you for joining. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I am making an egg scramble. That's what I call it. Very popular dish in my house. It's good for breakfast, lunch, really anytime. You can make it in bulk, break it down, almost like meal prepping, and then heat it up, as the days go. Or you could just make it as one serving. So right now, I'm making it for my son. This is one of his favorite meals that I make. I have sausages that I've already started cooking before I decided to go live. This is the brand of sausage we use right now. We do not eat pork, haven't eaten pork for a while, but you can definitely use pork sausage, beef sausage, whatever you prefer. And a trick that I have to making this type of sausage, like the ones that are frozen sausages, like the brown and serve type sausages, I take the sausages, put them in a pan, add just a tiny bit of water, and allow the sausage to steam. So cover it, let it steam so that it thaws out. Once that water is evaporated, add a little bit of oil to the pan, and then you get a sausage that's more crispy instead of it just being like soft and squishy. And these are not completely done yet. I'm going to add my potatoes to this pan. So I stopped the cooking process so that I can hop on live and show you guys the full recipe. So I have a couple of shorts where I've made egg scramble. And so this is the first time that I'm going live so that you guys can actually see the full process. So again, we have the sausages in the pan. I've just peeled 2 potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and rinse these off and come back and chop them up. yes, this is a great dish. Now, if you're a person who doesn't really like to mix your foods, I would say still give it a try. You might be surprised. But it's basically like making the sausage, making home fries, and then making scrambled eggs, but they're all together in one dish. And you can make your potatoes whatever size you enjoy them when you're making home fries or when you're eating home fries. That's the size you want to make. So I'm just going to cut these up just the same way I would if I was making like home fried potatoes. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop those questions in. I'll try to catch them and answer. I was in the kitchen anyway, so I decided to just go live. Let's see what we got here. You're allergic to pork? You are? Yes. So a few years ago, we stopped eating pork and shellfish. So we don't do pork sausage, and I had to find other alternatives and also figure out how to cook them in a way that we could really enjoy them, which is how I came up with the trick of how to cook these. So this again is the brand, the chicken and maple. It's pretty good. So I'm going to add just a little bit more oil to this because I'm going to need it for my potatoes. And so now this is my real life kitchen, okay, you guys? So you're going to see what I do as if I was not on live. Last night I fried some chicken. I don't just throw away my oil. I'll use oil for a few fries. This container over here is my oil container. Eventually this oil is going to go back in that container. But since I have this pot here with the oil in it, I'm just going to take a little bit of the oil right out of this pot and put it in the pan. Okay. We work smarter, not harder. Put these potatoes in here. Let's see. So yes, in this dish, I see the question, is there pork in it? I can't tell if it's the same person who was talking about pork in another comment. This dish does not have pork. And you can really use whatever type of sausage you want. You can even do turkey sausage, like the kind that's all ground up. That's how I first started this recipe. I buy a pack of like the Italian turkey sausage. Might be Butterball brand. Don't quote me on that. But it just comes... No, yes, it is Italian turkey sausage, and I think it is Butterball brand. And it comes like Italian sausages. You just have to be careful with the casing that they use on those sausages. Oftentimes, even though it'll be like a chicken sausage or a beef sausage, if you look at the casing, it's going to be a pork casing. So you want to pay attention to the ingredients. If it doesn't tell you what the casing is and you don't eat pork, don't buy it. It's very likely pork casing. So unless it says like collagen casing or sheep casing or something like that, don't even buy it. So for the, I believe it's Butterball brand Italian turkey sausages, I believe it's a collagen casing. I just cut the casing off and take out the filling. And then I, cook the filling, which is just turkey sausage flavored like an Italian sausage, turkey meat flavored like Italian sausage. I cook that. And then I do all these same steps, okay? But this time we're just using the chicken and maple. So you can get creative. It doesn't matter what type of sausage you use. Use whatever you eat. And then dice up your potatoes. Add your potatoes. I'm going to go rinse my hands and I'm going to keep going. It's looking like my battery is also low, so hopefully I won't get cut off. Let me see what else I got here. Weird combo? What's the weird combo? This is egg scramble. That's what I call it. So the sausages are still cooking. I'm adding a little bit of salt. a little pepper. So the same way I would just cook my home fries. Salt, pepper, a little bit of Latrice, not too much. The Italian seasoning. Can't have home fries without Italian seasoning. Then I have this, it's like a garlic salt and pepper, so I'll just add a little bit since I already have different salts in here. Then we'll do our onion powder, our garlic powder. So we still have to season the potatoes. You don't want your potatoes to be bland. Once we add the eggs, I'm not going to put seasoning in the eggs. So this flavoring that we're putting on the potatoes is pretty much going to be the flavoring that flavors the dish. Also, you'll get the flavor from the sausages. So now we're just going to stir this up a little bit to get those seasonings incorporated. Our sausages are still going. And now I'm just going to get a tiny little bit of water to add here. I'll be right back. So when I do my home fries, I always add just a little bit of water to start the potatoes by steaming them. And I cover it with the lid. My heat is on about low to medium heat. So the water that I just added is going to steam the potatoes to get them softened. And then from there, we will remove the lid and we'll fry them the rest of the way. And I'm also going to keep an eye on the sausages. Okay? So while that stuff is cooking, I'm going to clean my space and then we'll get started mixing the eggs because we clean as we cook. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. I will read them when I come back. Let's see. Yes, eggs and potatoes. Oh, I see. So it's almost like if you were having breakfast and you had sausages, eggs, and potatoes on your plate, but instead it's just all combined together, and so I call it an egg scramble. And how I was inspired is, I think it's like Jimmy Dean. If you're in the grocery store, you walking around the aisle that has like the breakfast sausage and stuff, you see these little containers. I think it's a Jimmy Dean brand, and it'll have like egg, sausage, and I don't know what else in it. It's like just different breakfast mixes. And I could never buy them because they always have pork in them. So I went home and I decided I'm just going to make my own version, and which is oftentimes what I do, make my own version of things. Helps you save money and you can tweak it to your liking. And so that's how Egg Scramble was birthed. I will be back. Right, I'm just gonna wipe down my cooking space. I was gonna wash those dishes, but I actually have some dishes in the sink that needs to be washed, so I'll just wait and wash everything together. Generally speaking, our rule of thumb is we clean as we cook so that once you're done cooking, you don't have a ton of mess to worry about. Just wipe down everything as you're cooking. And so now I have 3 eggs here. I'm going to prepare my egg mixture right inside this measuring cup. every egg I crack, I'm going to drop a shell. Okay. Oh, and for those of you who don't know how to crack eggs, I know some people do it with a fork. Some people like crack it on the edge of a counter or on the edge of a bowl. How I do it, I just kind of smash it, but don't smash it on the counter so that I get a really soft cracked spot. I dig my fingers in and then I gently pull it apart. That is the easiest way for me to crack an egg and to teach others to crack an egg. And so now I have my perfectly cracked eggs here. Now I'm going to go grab the cheese. Let me know if you need me to go over that how to crack an egg thing again, just in case if you're not good at it. Okay, and then here's the cheese. It's going to be American cheese. We're going to do 1 slice of cheese per egg. That is my rule of thumb. Really, just make your scrambled egg recipe however you usually would do it. So I just kind of fold it up so that now I have these strips. And then I break it apart. So it's going to kind of be like little chunks of cheese in the egg. So that when I'm scrambling the eggs, it'll be easy for the small pieces of cheese to melt into the eggs. We don't like to have cheese chunks on our eggs after the egg has cooked. We like for the cheese to kind of incorporate into the egg as it's cooking so that you don't even see the cheese there because it is perfectly melted and blended into the eggs. So I just add it right into the container with the egg. I'm going to go rinse my fingers. Now I got to find a fork. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and mix this together. It's all in the wrist. Alright, so our egg mixture is all set. We're just going to set it to the side. I'm going to clean up my space, throw away these shells, put away my cheese. I'll be right back. So I'm back with our cutting board. We will need it. Let's check on these potatoes and sausage. Now remember, I fried the sausage in this pan. So some of the dark pieces that you see on the potatoes is actually from the sausage. Now I'm just testing the potatoes by trying to squish one of them to see if they are almost ready. And they are. The sausages I can take out now. So we'll just put those on our cutting board. I'll let these steam just a little bit longer. Now I had my heat, it's like at a low, in between low and medium. I'm just going to turn it up to medium, let them steam a little bit, and then I'll remove the lid. And so with these sausages, we're going to go ahead and chop them up. So in the egg scramble, you kind of want to have a piece of sausage, egg, and potato in each bite. So I just break up the sausage into small pieces. And it is hot, so be careful. You can use a a fork to hold the sausage down if you need to. This is a great and fun meal. This is also a meal that is good at stretching what you have. So let's say I have a family of 5. You see here I only had 4 sausages. I am cooking this for one person right now. But even with the family of 5, if all I had was these 4 sausages, I could make a meal like this. And it just wouldn't have a ton of sausage in everyone's serving. But you would still get some sausage, some egg, some potato on everyone's plate. So if you don't have a ton of eggs, you have maybe 1 or 2 potatoes, you got just a few sausage. If you combine it all, everyone can still get a nice serving of food. So it's definitely something that can also be stretched if you are limited in the ingredients. So now we're going to take this lid off. And let me see if I have any questions. No questions. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. And it's really not that difficult of a meal. It might sound like it's a lot of work because it's almost like you're just making 3 different things like you would if you were doing a full breakfast. You're making sausages, you're making eggs, you're making potatoes, but as you can see, I'm doing everything in the same pan, so I'm not switching dishes. I just picked the pan that I know that can accommodate all of the different ingredients. I'm not making a big mess. It's really not hard. Let's check on the potatoes. So I'm just going to take this and try to cut this potato in half. It cuts, but it gives me a little bit of resistance, so I'm just going to keep cooking it a little longer. And you can always taste a potato. You can eat a potato, right? The best way to find out if something is seasoned right or cooked to perfection is to try it, right? Get a chef. That particular potato is actually cooked very well. Really soft. It doesn't have any crunch to it at all. But I do need a little more of the Latrice flavor. Remember, the seasoning that's on the potatoes is the only seasoning we're putting in this dish. And I don't want the dish to be bland at all. I did use onion powder and garlic powder, but I have a different brand of onion powder and garlic powder. This one is a little more granulated, so a little more flavorful. I'm just going to add a little bit of this. And this is not onion salt and garlic salt. It is still onion powder, garlic powder. If you want to do onions and peppers, now would be a good time to add your onions and peppers. You can put them in at the same time that you do your home fries. So however you would normally make your home fries, that's what you would do right now. You would have all the ingredients in your home fries, just like normal. So you want all the same flavors that you would normally put, all of that. Go ahead and cover this just for a minute or 2 so it can steam a little bit more. So we have our home fries that are almost done. We have our potatoes here. We've got our egg mixture already set up. Really, I'm just waiting for the home fries to be fully cooked through. And then I'm going to take those off, put them on this cutting board. I'm going to scramble my eggs. And as the eggs are finishing up, I'm going to add the potatoes and the sausage to the eggs, and that'll be it. Egg scramble will be done, and it will be delicious. Let's see if we have any questions. No questions. Okay, how are you guys doing today? Happy Monday. What time is it where you are? I am East Coast, Eastern Standard Time. It's almost 4 o'clock, so this is more like brunch. And again, I'm making this for my son. This is one of his favorite meals. Egg scramble. If you like potatoes, you like sausage, and you like eggs, this could work for you. Alright, home fries are done. I'm going to turn off my heat. I'm going to move this lid out my way. And we're going to add our home fries to our cutting board. Right now the pan is really hot, so I'm just going to let it cool down just slightly, but I am going to add my butter. So remember, I turned the heat off. I'm going to add my butter now. The pan is still hot, so the butter is going to melt. It's going to cook. Now the reason I'm letting the pan cool down just a little bit is because I don't want my eggs to cook too fast. Because again, we've added the cheese to the eggs. We don't want to just have cooked eggs and then chunks of cheese once the eggs are finished cooking. We want the cheese to melt as the eggs are cooking so that it can be fully incorporated into the eggs. So I'm going to let that butter melt down. I'm going to put my pan on a low heat. Literally, it's a very small flame. Have it on low heat. I'll turn it up eventually. Now we're going to add the eggs to the pan. And this was 3 eggs, 3 slices of American cheese. Make your eggs however you would normally make your eggs. So the pan is pretty cool because the eggs didn't start sizzling and frying, so I know that they're not going to cook too fast. Right now I have it on low heat. I'm just going to turn it up just in between low and medium. Okay? And now I'm going to take this over to the sink. Now normally we clean as we're cooking. So I would normally just go over to the sink and wash this out and come back. But I'm not going to do that this time. So I'm just going to go sit it at the sink. I'll be right back. Okay, again, these are the sausages that we're using, the chicken and maple. You can use whatever sausage you like. We have 2 potatoes. They were kind of small to medium-sized potatoes. And then I did 4 of the chicken and maple sausage. I did 3 eggs. So now I can see around the border that the eggs are cooking. And now I'm going to start mixing it up. I can also see that the cheese is getting nice and soft, which is what we want because we want the cheese to melt. We don't want the eggs to cook so fast that the cheese doesn't have a chance to actually melt into the eggs. And this is how I make my scrambled eggs, whether I'm making egg scramble or not. I don't like to have the eggs cooked and then you just have chunks of cheese in the egg. We want that cheese to melt so that it can fully incorporate into the egg before the egg is finished cooking. I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to show you. I don't know if you guys can see what I mean. So like the cheese has melted and now it is like fully incorporated into the egg. So I won't have just these big random cheese chunks in my egg. And now I can let my egg finish scrambling. Now I have it kind of on medium heat and I'm going to let the eggs finish cooking. This won't take long at all. I don't like to burn my eggs. I don't want to overcook my eggs. I don't want them undercooked, so I don't cook them on too high of a heat. I actually could have done a fourth egg with the amount of potatoes that I have. I might not put all of the potatoes. We'll see. There is no wrong way to make the scramble. It's just a matter of what potato to sausage to egg ratio you prefer to have. My son's going to eat it regardless. So I can hear the egg sizzling. I know that the bottom layer of egg is cooking. So what I'm going to do is I kind of pick it up and then flip it over. So the bottom is cooked and now I'm cooking that other side. Okay. And now I can add my sausages and my potatoes. I'm going to turn the board this way so I can put the sausage in first and then decide how much potato I want to add. And we're just going to finish scrambling the egg with the sausage and the potato. So this is how you have egg, sausage, and potato in every bite. These extra potatoes, my son could just eat it on the side, or I could just put it away for later and just have it as a separate meal. And just like that, it's done. Egg scramble. There we go, guys. Very easy. Oh, the lighting isn't good. I will have to take the phone down. And actually, the lighting isn't as bad as I thought it was, because when I looked at my live from last night, the lighting wasn't that bad. So let me just take the phone down. Let me show you guys. Okay. So here you have egg, scrambled sausage, potato, and scrambled eggs. All right. And let me flip this around. Okay. Whew, there we go. Egg scramble. And we are 33 minutes in. So this is take you about a half hour to make. And technically you could feed a few people with this, but I just made it for my son. He is going to be happy. He's going to enjoy it. And I thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you come back to this video and let me know if you try it out. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Happy Monday. Have a great day. Have a blessed day.